I recently had the unfortunate privilege of meeting a man that is deranged beyond recovery. Dante Coldharbour. I was sailing from Port Nyanzaru to Waterdeep when our ship's navigator spotted a storm on the horizon. It was the Ship of Storms. I didn't mention for the navigator to steer clear. No, in fact, I welcomed the confrontation. As we neared, my anxiousness became palpable. Indeed, I have longed for this moment for many decades now, especially now that I can finally put a rest to grandmother. But I digress. The ship's sails grew larger and larger as it set a course to intercept us. But we had 6 ships in our merchant flotilla, and our captain was fearless. Yet as it drew closer, I began to feel the rain beat against my face, and as the temperature dropped, the rain turned to sleet. We drew closer still. It was then that I realized that the storm ship had obscured the rest of their undead fleet. And we all watched as the ghostly black sails of dragon's wings bear down on us. Soon, in the blackest of nights, ship versus ship broke out in almighty warfare. It was hell. The impossibly loud thunder of the ship-to-ship combat with cannon fire sent my ears ringing. They demolished with brutal efficiency. And it was then that I noticed the Ship of Storms now seemed somehow under the control of this terrifying pirate. As Dante boarded my ship, I hid. No right-minded person would brave against what I saw. Seafaring vampires. And the grotesque, twisted countenance of Dante Coldharbour. As my ship slowly sank, I thought they'd never leave. They looked high and low for me, and through the magical nature of my cloak, I managed to blend in almost invisibly as I hid in the hold. I thought vampires were a myth. I thought that water hurt them. Even as the sun as a weapon was no longer certain anymore, for the myth of them seemed to defy all I knew. One of their members bared a silver blade. That theory, too, now seemed a lie. I was up to my chest in water now as the undead crew disembarked, finally. And those black sails were already a league away by the time I came above deck. I quickly piled some wine and dried goods quickly on a skiff before rowing away to this island. To my surprise, one of those foul creatures managed to follow me, or find me, or track me here. It took all I had to even subdue the damned thing. Over the next few months, I was able to build confines for this creature and conceal its prison with this hut, part of the ship's wreckage I managed to tow back for lumber. To ensure this creature wouldn't escape, however, I created a blood seal that only I may open the way down. Seems I had my own cellar of darkness now. For years, I experimented on the creature, attempting to learn its secrets, the secrets to slaying their kind. And as far as I could deduce, blessed water was among the only things to cause their recoil and fear. Its flesh seemed to melt under its holy power. This sparked an idea. I presented a holy symbol, and indeed it recoiled in fear. I was onto something. Perhaps Father was right to teach me in the ways of a cleric so long ago. Perhaps being forced into church service was indeed helpful for my future. This creature's blood also held confounding properties. Ingesting small doses seemed to heal and reverse aging, yet too much nearly made me a thrall of this damned thing. I must find Dr. Van Richten. Yes, at all costs I must find him. I recall his address being somewhere filed away in my family's study. He must know of these creatures, what I know now. Perhaps he will share with me even of his experience and lend aid to my grim vengeance and righteous duty. Though his life is painful enough, perhaps. Yet another reason to trek home, I suppose. Baldur's Gate, you claw me back to your foggy streets once again. For now.